Hey, what's up? My vision is sharing your vision. Let's talk.
This is Jeff Landis from A Dose of Landis, and we're listening to Speak Now with Gena.
Hey.
How's it going?
I'm good. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, thank you. It's been a while since I've been here, like 1956. No,
oh, come on.
It's been about 6 or 7 months since I've been in here. Coming here every once in a while, so I see how it's going. But actually being here doing a radio show.
But you know what? Like riding a bike, huh?
Yes.
Right.
Just not serious like I used to be. Because when I was a teenager, I was here like for a long time.
Okay.
I'd come here every day. Nowadays, I'm like, nope.
Yeah. Today's interview is with Jeff Landis of A Dose of Landis. Tell me, what is A Dose of Landis, Jeff?
A Dose of Landis is a variety show mixture of everything from, local talent, national talent, and to pretty much anything from professional wrestling, music, whatever I get my hands on.
And where's A Dose of Landis take place?
It is on Access Fort Wayne, Comcast 57, Files 27. I'm on every Thursday night at 11 o'clock p.m. on Comcast 57, Files 27. And I'm also on YouTube just as well, under Jeff Landis. Kind of like pretty much what I do now is like a variety channel. I mean, you'll see some stuff from when I first started from back in the day to whatever I see funny and fit. So on my YouTube channel, I'm just like, you know what? Because you got to keep up with the times. If you don't keep up with times, people going to get bored.
Who you telling? I know.
So it's like, you got to go with it in order to keep up with times.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing A Dose of Landis?
A Dose of Landis, I've been doing that for 2 years. I started in 2016 for A Dose of Landis itself, but on TV in general, I started at the age 14 years old.
You had an Access TV channel at 14?
At 14, yeah. One was Channel 10 Public Access at the time.
What brought you to Public Access?
The funny story is I wanted to be a singer. And,
okay.
I was like, okay, listening like Dr. Dre and all, and, everybody then, I was like, okay, I want to be a rapper. And I was like, okay, I could do this. I'm looking for a studio. And then somebody was like, I was at Young Adults back then when it was Channel 10. Like, well, right there's a TV studio. So I was like, so I've heard of the station before. So why do I not try to start my own TV show and start singing? And I started out singing. I was singing from Boys to Men, from All for One, from Warren G, from Dr. Dre. So you picture a kid going through puberty singing these love songs.
Okay.
So then I was like, okay, cool, I got it. And then I was just having fun. And next thing you know, I'd be out on the street. Hey, I watched your show. Your singing's horrible and it's bad. And I'm like, okay. But people caught on and started watching it. I was like, wow. I was just amazed on how people was watching. I'm like, okay. Then I started doing other things just as well because, people like different variety. And I was doing talk shows. I was interviewing teachers, my friends, and, talking about professional wrestling. I was like, okay, cool. We got something. And then, how I watch the news, I see Three Rivers Festival, covering stuff. I was like, okay, I can just cover Three Rivers Festival because that's something I love. And I was covering Three Rivers Festival at the age 14. So I did almost every Three Rivers Festival show.
Did the training to use the equipment come from here?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What was the first show? Or did you just come down and say, hey, I want to do a show?
I came down and said, hey, I want to do my own show. Okay, I think I can do this too.
Mm-hmm. Did they have Team TV then at that time?
Yes, they had John Crill's Team TV, which I was friends with George Walker, John Krill, and I think your son did.
He did, yes. That's how he started.
So, yeah.
He got the entertainment bug.
Yes,
through Team TV.
It's addicting. TV, like anything you do in entertainment. I know what you do in your radio show, it's addicting.
And it's relaxing to me.
Oh, yeah. Then you get that feedback. You're like, see, like right now, you see it, I'm getting, you get goosebumps because, it feels good when people's like, you're doing a good job. And that's why you keep doing it because this is something that you love to do.
Right. So you started at 14.
Yeah, 14.
Just singing songs.
Yeah, and then I started doing
because you wanted to be a rapper or a singer.
A rapper or a singer. I wanted to do,
You wanted to do it all.
Do it all. And then I failed at that. I'm like, all right, well, then I started doing professional, like, backyard wrestling because I've always liked wrestling my whole life. I was like, all right, wrestling.
How did that tie into the radio station?
Actually, through Terry, it was he was talking about I had him on Facebook, and then he's like, okay, cool. Why don't you come on my show sometimes? Because I've done radio before. I've done. I mean, not my own radio show, but I've been on past big radio stations.
Okay.
To
promote yourself.
Yeah. They're like, gotcha. Jeff, do you want to come on in and get interviewed? And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, all right. So I've been interviewed by newspapers when I first started. I've been on radio stations. Cool. I've been on the news. So it's like, yeah. And I'm like, I was just a kid, just trying to have fun, doing what I'm doing. And next thing you know, it hit me. And like I said, I don't claim to be a big star. It's just I'm just amazed on how I clicked with people.
So now tell me about this journey to A Dose of Landis, because what you said prior to this interview is that you have had several. You've renamed your show.
Yes, the wrestling shows were called Mayhem because obviously craziness. Because my show is crazy, unpredictable. You never know what was going to happen.
What was the vision for that?
Just kids having fun wrestling. Teenagers all having fun. Okay, we'll go to parks and do some wrestling shows and just have fun with it.
And you just recorded it?
Yeah, we recorded it.
And put it on Access?
Yeah, we had our own little storylines. Yeah, we didn't have a wrestling ring, but we went to the parks. We're like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Just had fun with it. And then people were like, oh, that stuff's fake. And like, you still watch. So yeah, we all had a good time. Our friends came by. We were all friends during the show. And then when it came down on TV, let's just have some fun and, wrestle and stuff like that. And that's how Mayhem came about. And then I got into professional wrestling, had my own wrestling matches and stuff like that. And then
What did you do?
I was a wrestler, actually.
Okay.
I got trained to be a wrestler, and I wrestled for a couple times, and I was like, yeah, I'm not the greatest wrestler. We went down to Marion for a wrestling show, like, can you referee? And I became a professional wrestling referee, so I referee every weekend. So I go from backyard wrestling to pro wrestling in the ring.
Were you able to record those shows?
Yeah, of course. Being in a wrestling ring was one of my dreams.
That's cool.
And I was like, all right, why don't I just record? I got TV, because, if you tell people, hey, I got a TV show, and TV is hard to come by, same with radio, because, they want the big dollars. It's like, well, I do a TV show, and they're like, well, we'll train you for free. I'm like, okay, then I'll book you up with TV time. And then a couple times I wrestled, and we aired it, and I was like, all right, why don't we do a best of? So yeah, I went with that. So then I got married and then had 2 kids, and then I fell off, not the earth, but fell off doing TV. I'm like, and then people were like coming up to me, Jeff, I like your show. Are you still doing it? And I'm like, no. So I was like, all right, I gotta come back.
Right.
And I came back and started doing backyard wrestling again. And then
was the training extensive, or was it? Did you just fall right into it?
It was hard. I wasn't the greatest at, training and wrestling, and I was like, all right, I'll just do the refereeing part. So I stuck doing that, and then after we got divorced, I started doing a reality show called Outlandish Reality.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was like, you know what? I've done almost everything, because I'm a variety guy. I want to do something different, because, if you do the same thing over and over, it's like, okay.
It becomes boring to you?
Yeah.
So how did the vision come up for the reality show?
Well, I was like, I've never done one before, so I'm going to do something different. I'm going to be raw, real, no scripts, no nothing. We're just going to go with the flow.
What was it about?
Just pretty much my life as a single dad, and just me going through my, showing people like behind the scenes of me doing shows, because people think, oh, it's easy to do a show. Like they think obviously radio is easy to do. No, because as a producer in TV, I'm independent. I have to take care of the editing and stuff like that, getting the camera, and same with you guys. I mean, because you guys are pretty much the visionary. You got to take care of this. You got to do that. You got to have your own vision. It's a lot of work. People think, oh, it's easy. No, it is not.
Right.
Especially when you're doing something that's non-scripted. Yeah.
I don't know if I could be doing the non-scripted.
Yeah, I tried doing the scripted stuff, but I butcher that like crazy. Like if I'm, I also act too in movies, like small movies or music videos. I do that too. I also act as well. I didn't know if you knew that or not. I was reading the scripts. I was like, why don't I just put it in my own words? So like, okay, so yeah, scripts is not my.
What was the challenge with just letting it flow though? Was there a challenge with that?
I have a learning disability. And my reading is horrible. My punctuation, everything is horrible. So I was like, let me go with my flow. Let me go how I feel. Let me say, just tell me what to say in my head, and I'll just go with the flow with it. And that's how I like things go with the flow, because it's easy that way for me.
Okay.
Because it's natural. Because sometimes when you do stuff natural, it just happens.
That's actually what's going on right now. I called you and I said, okay, this is where we're gonna have this structured questions, and you said, oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. And I'm like, no, we're gonna do it this way.
No, I remember that phone call. You're like, yeah, but it like I said, I understand. Like I said, people do things differently.
Yeah,
which is understandable. Like I said, we all have
especially an organized person. It's like, no, we're gonna have it A, B, C, D, and then look at today. I left the list.
It's all right. Hey, it happens. What I say in real life and in TV, radio, whatever, anything happen.
Right.
There's always a plan A, plan A, and plan B. That's
so. What happens when you're doing this reality show and things come up that you really don't want in there?
Oh, I edit it out. Of course, I edit it out because I'm doing editing. But like I said, with my show, it was uncensored. I didn't care. We were on after 11. If something happens, it happens. Like one day, my son called me a bad name. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is what happened in reality. Because if you watch these reality shows, there's a lot of scripted ones.
I thought they
much.
were all scripted, really.
Yeah, but I was like, because like I said, I like to be different. I want to appear, like, hey, this isn't fake, this isn't going. But I mean, granted, after a while, by doing reality TV, we kind of changed it up by seasoning some stuff to it because, like, why don't we just plan this and plan out? Because after doing 2 years of raw, real reality, it's like, okay, how do we know what's going to happen next? So I got tired of that, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just take some time off because I was getting bored and, just the type of, like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and then I was like, took some time off. I had health issues too.
Okay.
And I was going to bring A Dose of Landis back. Well, I was going to bring A Dose of Landis in, I think it was like 2005 or something like that, or 4, I don't know, because like I said, I took some time off. I had health issues, had colitis and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to be out in public at all because I had that certain stench to me, and you get what I'm saying, when you have health issues, it's like, I don't want to be near nobody. I don't want to deal with anybody.
And you could have done your show from home.
Yeah, but I just didn't want to deal with the public in general.
I gotcha.
And I'm a public person. I love people. I can tell you. I think
you are an extrovert.
Yeah, and I love people. I love being there. I love, just a people person.
Right.
But, having health issues, it just kicks you in the butt. It's like, because then you get those judgmental people who don't know you and will be like, well, he stinks. Or then I'm like, all right, I'm just going to step away. And then I was planning on doing A Dose of Landis. You remember Night Shift with Kevin Ferguson, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Well, here's the story on how A Dose of Landis happened.
Okay. Were you on that show?
Almost, because I wanted to come on as a guest. I wrote Mike Moses, like, all right, I'm interested in coming on the show as a guest. Because
I remember him.
I've accomplished a lot of things in Fort Wayne. Been in the news, radio. I was like, well, I want to be on Night Shift with Kevin Ferguson. So we're like, oh, we'll set up a meeting with you, and then never heard anything back. So I was like, all right. That's a slap in the face to me because I just wanted to be on a show. They're like, well, you can help co-produce a new camera. I was like, okay, that's cool, but I want to be a guest because I've accomplished everything else. And they're like, no. So I was like, all right, I like competition because back then when I was doing my backyard wrestling, a certain wrestler didn't like what I was doing, didn't like my vision. He had something different. It's like, all right, I'm going to compete against you. He tried taking me off the air. Very close. Very close by taking me off the air. So I was like, you know what? I love competition because I love to compete and I love to be in that number one. Mm-hmm. So like, all right, Kevin Ferguson, you want to tell me no? Why don't I do A Dose of Landis and run against your show? It's like, all right, cool. I'll just run against you. And then, well, I was doing a Jeff Landis show here once in a while. Pretty much been like, hey, let's do the Jeff Landis show to where I can do some certain things. Like I did shows on child crimes. I did a show on just normal, regular stuff.
Yes.
And then I had a big name celebrity come in here in the studio, Danny B. Severn. He does stuff from MMA. Google his name. He does a lot of huge stuff. And then
this is the wrestler?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he came in the studio, and as soon as the credits rolled, it said, the Jeff Landis show. I was like, and then I left. I was like, that could have been my very first episode of A Dose of Landis right there. Mm-hmm. A huge big name on the show. And there you go. I was like, oh, man. Then it all falls into place, too, because I shared another wrestling event that's happening here in Fort Wayne in April of 2016. Mm-hmm. A local comedy group called Let's Comedy, like, come on, Jeff, come on down, bring the camera just in case. And then another professional wrestler was like, he came on and was like, can I get an interview with you? He's like, yeah. And then, got to interview the huge name, 2016 of November. Actually, well, we pre-taped it, and I was like, you know what? There you go, A Dose of Landis. So I started doing interviewing. I've interviewed Michael Banks, Terry Tantrum. I brought in a couple of my friends. Chris Easley brought them in for A Dose of Landis, and I was like, all right, cool. I'll just interview some of my friends. And a friend of mine came from Louisiana to kind of do like a reminiscence show.
Yes. Okay.
And then I kept finding out these celebrities were coming into town. And then I was getting booked for these wrestling events coming where they had these huge names. I was like, all right.
Because you still are a
yeah, I'm still a referee, and I got connections with doing a TV. I was like, all right, I could do interviews for the show, and then I could also do, refereeing, and started getting connections, started having these big names on. I was like, okay, we have something here. And then when it came, I think it was May, the Fort Wayne Music Festival had Aaron Carter come in, Nappy Roots, and then I covered the whole 7-day event.
On A Dose of Landis?
On A Dose of Landis. I was like, all right,
that's cool.
If you want PR, I got you. So I wasn't planning on interviewing Nappy Roots or Aaron Carter. So what happened is my friends were like, Aaron Carter's here. He's right here. He's right here. I'm like, well, I wasn't planning on interviewing him, but if you want to tell me where he's at. Okay. And then one of my friends was like, well, Aaron Carter said he'll do an interview. So me and Wesley were editing like 4 shows that same day. And, you know, like I said, I take the bus and I walk around. After I get done with editing, I'm like, I'm going. So as soon as I got there, and I was like, all right, this is what happened. I mean, you could say, yeah, it's directly an interview. But yeah, it's like the celebrities. It's kind of cool. I went from a kid from singing Boys to Men to interviewing celebrities. And I never thought, because I still to this day, like I said, I'm on season 2 right now, but I got 2 shows for season 3 already done. I've already got big names on them already.
How often do you come on?
I'm on every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Mm-hmm. I was actually on last night with Jack Russell's Great White, which is a huge name in a band in the 80s. They came to the Clyde Theater. We got to interview them at their hotel room. Yes.
That's cool.
Of course, you know, I had to keep it secret because, you know, if you're going to interview big name celebrities, you can't tell them where exactly, because you know how fans are. Oh my God, they stay here. And I've got a secret of success on how I get to interview these people, but, you know, I just don't want to give it out. But
on the air, but you'll tell me when you're off. Yeah. Okay.
But I tell you what, because, you know, most time if you meet celebrities, people are like, oh my God, you heard this? I'm like, just be yourself.
Right.
Treat them like family.
Right.
Not like, that's how I do with these interviews. I'm very relaxed like I am now.
I am.
Because every time big names, or no matter where you go, they get mugged for, you know, hey, give me this, give me that. And here's one thing about me, though. I do not ask for autographs. Not at all.
If I meet Denzel, I'm interviewing Denzel, and Denzel, I'm going to need you to write your name on my jacket.
Right. Well, I will tell you there's been three people I've asked for autographs for, which is Jack Russell's Great White, which was on the latest show.
Okay.
And then Ron Jeremy, he does, I'm sure you've heard of the name, but we're on radio. But like I said, I've only asked for 3. But my dream group of all time to get on my show, is probably going to shock both of you guys, is Boys to Men. Boys to Men.
No, I knew that.
Oh, okay.
Because you say that on all the time on your show or on Facebook.
That's my dream interview right there. If I get them on, then I'm done.
I know that's right.
I
wouldn't be done, but you have to have a vision for a dream interview.
Yeah, and it's hard to get them on. Let's just say I've been trying for years. I've gotten from they're doing a sound check that day. They didn't do interviews the day of the show, but I found out how much they cost. I'll tell you about that after we get off on the radio. Let's just say that I can't afford that. Yeah. Just for them to come here to town.
But you can go to them though.
Yes, but it depends on if
where they are.
If their agent is willing to budge. Because one agent I talked to before, she was cool. You've gotten pretty far then. Yes, I've talked to even the head of is it not BMG Music, but their record label.
Okay.
Not their record label, but their agent. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying now because they're coming to town. They're not coming to town, but they're coming to Hammond next year. I'm not gonna quit until they say the word yes. It's just because it's, you know, I mean, I could relate to them. I love their songs. I just want to get them on. And like I said, if I get them on, cool. That's my last interview because I'm getting burnt out of the entertainment business. I'll be honest with you. It's like, what else can I do?
What are you talking about?
Everybody says that to me, like, Jeff, you're not going to do it. It's addicting, though. Right. It's like that coffee you want to have. So, you know.
And then I guess if you look at it, you've been doing it since you were 14. That's a long time.
Yes, yeah. So I've seen it all down here at Access. Right. So when I've talked to you before, you're like, oh, you've been here for that long? I was like, yeah.
What has been the most challenging interview that you've had?
Most challenging is trying to get Boys to Men on, but the most challenging interview. We're
gonna put this on YouTube so they can see it over and over and over again.
Actually, what's kind of cool is that their agent is subscribed to my channel.
That's cool.
Well, I was because I got an agent now for the show because, you know, I can't be doing everything, and plus, like I said, my reading and my writing is horrible. Well, I was just looking through because she added me on my YouTube thing, you know, because I guess you can invite people for your YouTube channel, and I was like, Joanna, and then I had to go to the emails again. I'm like, holy crap!
That's
so cool. She is watching the show. So, like I said, it's like you never know who's watching.
So, Boys to Men, Jeff Landis is on his way.
Yes, please let me get this last interview so I can retire. But no, I've got more interviews I want to do too. Like,
right.
You know, I want to interview.
I understand.
Tons of other names too, but
I have all my interviews, my dream radio interviews on my vision board. Tons of them. I won't even go into detail. What I want to do is put the vision board behind me, and then just let people know. Yeah, I'm coming for you, Ellen. I'm coming for you, Oprah and Gail.
You know, one thing I learned too is that you got to push and promote yourself. You got to do as best as you can because, like I said, I was watching a old biography of one of my favorite wrestlers back then. The $1 Million Man is like, you know, you can only promote yourself. Nobody else will do it for you.
Right.
I mean, unless you're working for a big name company and then they, you know, they'll push and promote you, but you only do it yourself.
Well, that's why this is a good thing here to be able to interview fellow entertainment people to be able to interview you, because a lot of people don't know there's public access radio and TV that's right here. So this is a good thing that you promote me, I promote you. That's an awesome thing.
Yeah, it is. And one thing that's crazy about, like I said, through the times of everything's changing, public access back then, it was hot. Really hot. I mean, we had tons of people had their own shows. I mean, Team TV had their own show. Toy Sarah had her own show. Anybody could have their own show. And people would come down here in the 90s and the 80s. They'd come out, okay, cool.
What do you think changed that then?
YouTube.
You think YouTube changed
and social media, because anybody could be a star on social media.
You know what I think changed it is when people start, they have really good intentions, high intentions, and want to do the shows until they figure out how much work it is.
Oh, it's not that easy.
It's a lot of work. And for YouTube, just say something and post it. That's it. But when you come down to this library, if it's for Access TV or community radio, you better be ready to put in some work.
Exactly, because it's like everybody says, you're your own independent producer.
Right.
And sometimes you got your own teammates that you could work with. But like I said, with me, I work with certain people. I mean, no disrespect towards anybody. It's just how I feel with people. But I don't mind helping out somebody else. But like I said, it's crazy because people don't. I'm sure if we
certain personalities just click.
Yeah, and other ones,
that's really what it is.
Like, oh, you're stuck up. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Certain people just click, and that's really what it is. So now, what is the future for A Dose of Landis?
I'm hoping to go to national, kind of like almost like MTV type of deal or something like that, you know, something beyond. Because a couple of years ago, to be quite honest, I had a deal with CW Network.
Okay.
What happened was, like, I went to go meet Barb Richards, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's do A Dose of Landis. Because I always wanted to try some. I mean, I love public access, don't get me wrong. It's just I want to eventually make money from what I do. And obviously, if you go to network TV, you could do that. But I couldn't afford this amount of money for every week for a show, because I like doing weekly shows. You know, you got to get sponsors and stuff like that. But CW, I almost had an opportunity last year, but like I said, I was looking at the funds. I was like,
so you have to look at sponsors then for that.
And I'm the type of person is that I hate asking for money from somebody. I'm independent. I want to do it myself, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Like, some people do GoFundMe for stuff for, like, you know, helping them out with, you know, TV and stuff like that. I'm like, I can't do that, because then you get people because you also get the backlash, like, oh, well, you can work your butt off. You know, stop being lazy. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I want to figure out the way I can build an empire. Like I said, eventually I want to take my Landis Entertainment and have my own little TV station, have my own little thing, have my own little studio, and do it that way. But I don't have the funds for it, but I'm not going to ask for handouts.
But that's promoting, though. You don't think that's promoting? Maybe your sons will be the people who actually push you into that place.
Actually, when they turn 18, and I want them to take over. They've also vented to me like, Dad, I want to take over your shows, or Dad, I want to do this and that. I'm like,
right,
okay, because like I said, it means a lot to me, because, you know, just my kids are going to take over them because it's the same last name, and then they just got the same vision as I do. And sometimes they're like, Dad, I want to be a wrestler, or Dad, can I do this? I don't pressure them like, you don't have to do this.
Well, sir, I thank you so much. I think I'm trying to see if we've covered everything. And tell us again when your show is on, and how can we listen to it, or how can we view it? I'm saying listen. How can we see that?
Well, if you don't close your eyes and listen to it, and I'm just kidding. No, if you wanna watch it, we're on every Thursday at 11 p.m. on Comcast 57, Fios 27. Also on YouTube under Jeff Landis. I have a fan page like A Dose Landis on Facebook. Also like Jeff Landis Entertainer. Yes, I do it all. Yeah. Like I said, I act too. So
okay, this has been Jeff Landis from A Dose of Landis. Yes.
And you've got Dose today.
All right. And you've been listening to Speak Now, jamming with my jazz right here at 95.7 FM WELT.